I decided that I would give myself the challenge of doing a podcast by myself, but I'm doing video podcasts now, so I figured I should do the video too. So that at this point, I'm like, okay, what's the difference between this and like a vlog of me just saying what's going on with my life? I guess it's like this gives me the excuse that if the cinematography sucks, I'd be like, well, it was a podcast. The fact that there's video at all, that you should be happy. I thought about what I should talk about, and what I thought about is, guys, I've been syncing up with the sun. I am like a flower. I am like a plant. I am like a bird. I don't know. I don't know actually what animals go to sleep with the sun and wake up with the sun. I know that roosters certainly wake up right. Have you ever been around a rooster, around like anywhere where there's roosters? Those motherfuckers wake up at like 3:30 a.m. As soon as like the sky goes from like the darkest it goes to just like one little tick up towards bright. Those roosters are awake and they're loud. It's annoying. Anyway, what I wanted to say was, I don't think I've ever lived like this. Maybe last year a little bit I did, but I've never really, the sun has been going down at 4:30-ish, and then the sun rises at 6:30. And so I've been going to bed at like 9, between 9 and 10. And I've been waking up at like 4:30 or 5 a.m. It's crazy. I've never been like this. I like it though. I feel good. When I am asleep, I'm dreaming deeper. I think I remember my dreams more. I think I'm maybe sleeping more. I'm not sure, but when I'm actually sleeping, it's dark as fuck. I'm also in the middle of nowhere. I should say, like, I guess, I'm in the Indio Badlands, and got my Starlink Mini. Thanks, Elon. I'm just gonna put away. I'm actually what I've been doing lately is I wake up and I usually pack up my stuff, like my solar panels and stuff. I guess, hold on, let me see. Hold on. I wake up and I put away my solar panels. A lot of like before I got into this waking up at 5 a.m. thing, I would just sleep until the sun came up, and then I would have my solar panels. I put this one here in the front, and then the sun comes up right here, and then I start charging my battery for the day. But I've been waking up so early that I pack up my panels, and I am leaving before the sun even rises, and I'm getting to the gym. I went to the gym before work this week. I had dreamed that I could be able to do something like that at some point in my life. I didn't think that would be possible for a person like me to wake up early enough to do a full workout. And let me tell you, folks, I actually work out for too long. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, well, let me draw a little square around me here. Frame too small. Hold on. Whenever I go to the gym, I work out for like 3 hours because I don't know. Maybe I have ADD. Maybe, I don't know. It takes me a long time for some reason. So the idea that I could like do something like working out and be done with that before my workday even starts, that's crazy for me. And I guess what I wanted to talk about with waking up early is, and with syncing up with the sun, it feels natural. It feels right. It feels like what I'm supposed to do. And I mean, that should come as no surprise, right? Before the invention of electricity, whenever it would be dark, without fire, I guess we would have fire still, but without fire, it would be dark. You'd get tired. You'd go to sleep. It should come as no surprise that syncing up with the sun feels good. I don't know. I remember a couple years ago, I think it's about 10 years ago now, when I started smoking weed, I got really into weed. I don't know if that happens to everybody whenever they start smoking weed, but I guess I'm one of those people that gets obsessed with things. And so I got obsessed with weed. I got obsessed with the idea of growing weed, and then just the idea of plants in general. And that was like, I had never really fucked with plants before that. I guess I liked them. But the thing that stuck with me was that during the vegetation stage of the weed, let me get a better shot here. This is mostly silhouette. During the vegetation stage of the weed, I would have to, and I don't want to go into the details of this, but it was in New York City, and I I was growing it in the closet of our tiny apartment in New York, and I was growing it in these buckets, in 5-gallon buckets with the well, the first one was a regular bucket, and then I would stack another one on top and cut the bottom off. And then eventually it was supposed to be that you could like sort of modularly stack buckets higher and higher, and so that you could have like 7 buckets high with the bottoms cut off, and then you would have this big ass fucking plant in your closet at home. And it was called Space Buckets. There was a thread for it on Reddit where you could learn all the tips and tricks. And anyway, I was trying to grow a space bucket. Failure. I'm not going to go into what happened overall. It was a big failure. But during the vegetation stage, you would have to have 16 to 20 hours of light. And I had these little LED lights in there. And so I had it on a timer. And during the growth stage, it would be 16 hours. And then when you wanted to start making it turn from just growing bigger into like putting its energy into the flowers, you had to start trickling the light down from 16 to 20 all the way down to 12, I believe, which was called the flowering stage. And it was just interesting to me that the plant would just be like, okay, I'm getting less light now I'll move into this stage. And I guess, and then there's this, it made me think like, wow, it's interesting how life on Earth is tied to the star in that way, and to like the mechanizations in space. And I think about the moon and how the tides, how women sometimes get their periods synced up with the moon. That's fucking crazy. There's this one, I'm missing, I don't remember the details on this. There's this one bioluminescent plankton or something in the ocean in this one spot where at this one time of the year, right after this one phase of the moon, you can set your watch to this like bioluminescent event that happens with these plankton. I'm messing this up, but anyway. Hey, this is Ryan from the future. It's called the Bermuda fireworm, and it happens 55 minutes after sunset, a couple of days after the full moon. It's in exactly 55 minutes. You can set your watch by it. Now back to me. What the point is that it's like precisely like there's animals out there that are measuring the amount of sunlight they're getting from the environment, and biologically it all works like a damn clock. Like everything is perfectly connected in this really crazy way. And so I feel like when I'm synced up with the sun the way I am now, that there's other things inside me that are happy about that feel that this is right. This is the way things should be. I do like it. I feel like a damn rooster because I'm waking up at like 4:40 and I'm like, oh, morning time. It's still pitch black. I get up. I try to still snooze as long as I possibly can. But it's crazy. I feel it feels right. So I don't know what I'm trying to say is if the other thing is it's like we're a month away from the solstice, which is my least favorite time of year when there's the least amount of light, the sunlight. And amount of sunlight in the earth, on at least on the northern hemisphere. And so switching my sleeping schedule to this schedule allows me to maximize the sunlight so I don't get SAD. And by SAD, I mean seasonal affective disorder, which I do get if I don't get enough sunlight. I'm like a plant. I need the sun. So that's the first part of this podcast. It's about syncing up with the sun. And if any of you are thinking about syncing up with the sun, the thing about it is it's hard. Nobody's going to like it when you say, I'm going to bed at 9. If you're winding down, I'm like putting on my blankets and stuff and getting ready for bed at like, I'm getting cozy at 7:30 or 8. You know what I mean? Nobody likes that. You're a party pooper. The sun goes down at 5. Anyway. Here's another subject that I thought maybe would be good for me to talk about on the pod is face care. Wait, what's it called? Skin care. I don't think I ever really, I still don't think I have a skincare routine. Maybe I do. But I had eczema when I was like 18. I flew from Florida to Ohio in the middle of winter, and I think like the humidity from Florida versus like the dryness and coldness of Ohio did something to my face and my ear and like my eye and everything. It almost like it looked like it was like a chrysalis, or like it was like a big scab. And I thought I had, I thought maybe because I had flown there, I thought maybe somebody had flown from like the deep jungle in South America, and then I encountered some sort of parasite, and I had some sort of strange parasite burrowing inside my face. It was absolutely scary. And I eventually went to the doctor, and they're like, you have eczema. So I had to start using like a steroid cream for my face that got rid of the eczema, but also they're like, yeah, this is also going to age you really fast. Like, you're probably, when you're 30, you're going to look 40. And I was like, great. But at the time, I just didn't want to have my face look like a damn weeping pussy chrysalis. So I put the stuff on. After that, for like 10 years or so after that, I had to use the stuff on and off and just try to stay moisturized is what I did. That was my skincare. And this was like, this was like 2005 to 2015, But then, and the other thing for me, a strange skincare item that I also have is I only sleep with silky pillows. They don't have to be real silk. They just have to have less friction so that I don't have as much abrasion on my face when I sleep. But now my skincare routine is I went through like a breakup a few years ago. I talked about it on this pod, actually. The breakup happened in 2020 during the last election. And I think that in that relationship, I felt really like she didn't like the way I looked. Like I felt like she said she wasn't attracted. She still loved me, but she was not attracted to me anymore. And so that made my self-esteem took a hit. And I remember like, it was around this time actually, like 4 years ago. And I remember just looking in the mirror being like, I am old. I am unlovable. I think I have body dysmorphia. I do think so. And I can look at myself in different moods that I'm in. I will appear drastically different. to myself. And so one of the things that I decided, I was like, I could see like little wrinkles forming around my eyes. And so I was like, I'm old. I need to stop that. And so then I just started doing a deep dive, and I just figured out like, okay, the only real skincare product that uh, does work, that's not just fucking snake oil, is this stuff. Hold on. I have it in this bag since it's burst open a bunch with tretinoin. Tretinoin. I had put a Band-Aid on it because I accidentally burst the tube. So yeah, I went to a fucking dermatologist, and I was like, I want tretinoin. And she was like, well, sure. I mean, you don't really need it. And I was like, well, I want it. And I said I wanted it to be preventative. So like, this is, it's going to prevent the wrinkles. So anyway, I put on tretinoin at night along with moisturizer. I have this, this is the only moisturizer I use. Eucerin face cream. And Eucerin, whenever I had eczema, Eucerin makes an anti-eczema cream, and it's the only one that works out of all of like the couple brands that make that. So if you have eczema, look at the Eucerin eczema cream. This is not that. This is just a face cream. So at night, I put this on, I put the moisturizer on, and I sleep. And then I guess it's like beep, 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 creating collagen and shit. I don't really know. If you actually look into tretinoin, like it is the only face cream thing. Like I know I'll get a little bit of backlash from this, but it, as far as like the skincare shit goes, like tretinoin is one of the only things that actually works scientifically. Everything else is fucking snake oil. But it's also like kind of bad for you in that your skin is very sensitive after it. So like now the sun is going to come up here in a few minutes. It's 6:20 or something, and it's 6:36, and so I have to slather on the sunscreen to protect my face, which is now a vulnerable to the sun's rays. Coming back to the sun, I guess this is why I wanted to talk about it. It's related to my syncing up with the sun. I put on this cream at night that makes my face very susceptible to the sun. It's like my current girlfriend calls it bazooka cream because she's into skincare, and she said, oh wow, you went all the way to the most extreme measures of skincare, which is tretinoin. But the reason why she called it bazooka cream, like going all the way to the level of like saying it's like using an extreme weapon on my face. I went all the way to the top most powerful thing, which is this, but it makes my face susceptible to the sun. So now I'm simultaneously like, I love the sun and I want to get as much as I can, but I'm using this shit that makes me vulnerable to the sun's rays, and so I have to slather on the sunscreen. So every morning I wake up before the sun rises and I wash the tretinoin off. That's what you're supposed to do, I guess. But I asked my dermatologist, and she said that tretinoin actually gets vaporized by the sun's rays. So I assume that like as soon as the sun hits my skin, which has the tretinoin on it, that the tretinoin would get vaporized. So, I don't know. I wash it off anyway. They tell me to wash it off, so I wash it off. All right. And then I put on another little bit of moisturizer, same as last night. I put on like a base layer of the moisturizer to put back on. And then slather that puppy on. And then a little bit of sunscreen. And this sunscreen, it's made by, I actually don't know this brand, Toferol? I actually don't know what this is. You can get it at Sephora or one of the Ulta. Okay, here's another thing I wanted to show maybe. is my method of putting on sunscreen and moisturizers over the past couple of years. This is it. I make a little dot design on my face, and this ensures that I get good coverage. It ensures that I get good coverage, but then also it's really fun. I usually do this sort of a bop, 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 and then we go one down the center of the schnoz, down the side of the schnoz. Basically, that's it. And then it reminds me. I feel like whenever I see myself like this, and this is something I'm just thinking of now. It looks like Bambi. I look like the little. It looks like the white dots on on the body of a baby deer, which is pretty cute. And you rub it in. This way, I don't know. It just makes sure that like everywhere gets a nice, even coat of sunscreen. I don't know if to you at home, I don't know how pale you are, but as a pale person, I need a lot of sunscreen. And this one, I'll figure out what the brand is afterward. Is it Cos RX? Cos RX Vitamin E Vitalizing Sunscreen 50 Toferol. Yeah. Costrix. That's the name of the brand. Costrix? Don't actually know how to pronounce that. But the good thing about it is most sunscreens, if you're a pale person, you put on the sunscreen, it's like, okay, not only do I have extremely pale skin and I look like a damn ghost most of my life, but then whenever I go to the beach, I have to put stuff on my skin that makes me look even more white, even paler, even more dead. And this one, I think on camera, I feel like it's reflecting the light a little bit differently, but in real life, it looks more sheer. It goes on clear. It's not annoying, I guess is what I'm saying. Most sunscreens suck because they leave you looking like Robert Pattinson in the first Twilight. But this one, you look like kind of like Robert Pattinson in like the last Twilight. Like still a little light, but not. You don't look stupid. At least I don't think it. And I think it looks worse on camera. We have the sun coming up soon. All right, I guess that's all I have to say. Oh, maybe I should talk more about the tretinoin. Like, okay, I have been using tretinoin for maybe 3 or 4 years now. And, it's hard to say whether it's working or not. It works in that I feel like I am doing everything I can to combat aging to appear hot forever, which I know is a losing battle. And I should just, just be happy with my insides and the way I am and stop worrying about the way I appear. But unfortunately, I was stricken with my mom was obsessed with her body, but it's ingrained into me. Unfortunately, I care about the way I look. It sucks. I have vanity, and I maybe talking about it here will get me to stop caring about it, but I don't know. When I look in the mirror, I feel like the wrinkles and shit that I was concerned about many years ago when I went through the last breakup in 2020. I think they're still there. The question is, would they have been worse without the tretinoin? We don't know. I don't have a twin brother that has the exact same lifestyle as me and does everything exactly like me, except for I use tretinoin and he doesn't. So we don't know. And so I don't know. And even when you look into tretinoin, what it does, it only addresses the smallest wrinkles. Like, it's not a fucking miracle. So anyway, and so then I wonder, like, am I just tinkering in my fucking skin and then I put on the bazooka cream. I make my skin extremely vulnerable to the sun, and I think I'm doing good. I'm looking cool. I'm getting rid of the wrinkles, and then I spend all this time in the sun every day, even covering up. I wear hats. I wear sunglasses. I wear sunscreen. Am I fucking up my skin more than it would be fucked up normally had I not fucked with the tretinoin? That's the thing I'm always wondering about. Am I monkeying around inside my biology when I should just leave it alone? I should just be natural. I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. I wish I wasn't so vain. That's all for now. I'm going to drive to the gym. The sun has come up, and unfortunately, when I leave this area that I'm parked at right now, when I drive out, when the sun has already risen, I leave before this point. When the sun has already risen, the sun is in my eyes, and it fucking sucks. So I'm about to do that. So yeah, I wake up in the morning, put away my solar panels. This one, the foldy one. So I took about 10 minutes getting this set up. I don't know if you could see. I used some gaff tape and a bunch of weird shit to get this hooked up here. So hope you're happy with the shot. I thought I'd film. I mean, okay, so a podcast means that I would need to keep talking, right? Like, if somebody's theoretically listening to this instead of just watching it, then if they're just hearing my car, that's not really a good podcast, I think. I don't really know. I mean, you might just want to hear somebody going about their everyday life, just hearing the ambient sounds. No, you don't actually want that. So, I don't know. I thought I would film myself leaving this zone, so I am in the Badlands in Indio, and in the morning I wake up, usually, and I drive out of here, and the thing is right at this immediate vicinity around me, the sand is kind of deep, and as I've been driving through it every day, I feel like I've been stirring up the sand more and making it more likely that I'm gonna get stuck at one of these times. Like, I think every day I drive through here and I'm like, uh-oh, is this the time I'm gonna get stuck? And I come close, but I don't. And so maybe this time, maybe while you're watching. And yeah, so I hope we're okay. This would be a good time to have like another perspective on it, you know, to get a second angle. But just gonna drive straight out. And I've noticed, like, I just shouldn't go too fast. I should sort of take it easy. Just roll slowly. Don't step on the gas. That'll dig you into a hole. Okay, we're good. And here we go. What I just did was the most treacherous part. And then now we're back into just the regular road. Oh, and this is what I was saying, right into the sun. Fuck. And so the difficult thing about this is there's all these little crevices on this road that I have to avoid every time I come in and out of here. And when the sun's like this, I can't see any crevices, and it makes this actually really dangerous. I can't see anything. Fuck. Okay, yeah, no, I did this the other day, and it actually, I was like, oh, if I leave at this time of the morning, I should probably just wait like 25 or 30 minutes for the light to change, because it's actually quite dangerous this way. And yes, I'm experiencing it again. This is hard. There's a couple key moments, and they're right around this spot. There's a couple spots where it's just like there are big ditches, and I have to maneuver around them, and this is one of them. Oh fuck. Oh wait, where did I go up? Oh yeah, okay. There's like, people drive back here, but yeah, you have to have 4-wheel drive, you have to have high clearance, and even still, there's car parts everywhere around here from people just like losing their bumpers, scraping their bumpers on the ground. Oh fuck, dude, I can't see it at all. Okay, yeah, this is one of the hard parts. Okay, I feel like I'm kind of just driving blind here. I just kind of powered through that, and I hope it worked out that time, but that was not good. And then there's these like fucking dips, big dips. Ooh, big dip. Scraped my bumper a little bit. Two to three dips here. Woo, woo, woo. And then ooh. I'm at the top of the hill now. Here, I'll show you. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Oh, this shot's terrible, huh? You can't see through that. Through the it's focusing on the dirt on the windshield, huh? I don't know how to like manually fix that. Yeah. Anyway, all right, I'll just switch it around. Can we go the other way? What? Oh. All right, yeah. You really can't see it, but yeah, okay, this hill, this is the last treacherous hill, and actually this is okay. I can see this. Right. Ooh, scrape, yeah, and I scrape this bush every day. And there we go. So that's actually, we're out of the tough shit. That was the hard part. Still fucked though. Like every time I climb one of these little hills, like the sun. Oh, and I, you know, and I'm getting blasted by our star, as we just talked about, and it might be destroying my skin. I've taken so much care to preserve. I'm being blasted by solar rays, by both waves and particles. What is that thing about a sun rays being both waves and particles? What? So yeah. Yeah, see, here's a little ditch you gotta avoid. You can't really see it. What you're seeing on screen is so fucking bad. Okay, I'm switching it back around. I think I did actually do some damage here. Like, I've scraped the bottom of my car a couple times, I think, out here. Well, I know I have. The question is, did it do any damage? I don't know. But yesterday, my oil meter on my car, I don't know what it's called, the oil pressure meter, it was fluctuating and stuff the last couple days, and I was like, that's not good. And I kept getting this light on, because light kept popping on saying check gauges. And I think it was referring to this oil gauge. I think, and then I went to Jiffy Lube Classic yesterday, and I said, something's going on with my oil. I think I'm losing oil. And they're like, nah. And then they checked it, and they're like, yeah, you only had half the amount of oil you were supposed to have in there. What's going on? So they filled it up, and maybe it's draining again. I don't know. But I think possibly I've been out here, and let me show you. You can see all this trash everywhere. But perhaps I've just been out here and scraped the bottom of my car, and just maybe oil has slowly been leaking out. I don't know if any people who know anything about cars can tell me. Does that happen? I didn't see it. I haven't seen any oil leaking. But yeah, they filled it back up. She's acting great now, acting normal, I think. I bought this car like 3 months ago to replace my other one. I hate it. I don't even want to go into it right now. Here's a technique that I'd like to share that I don't know if anyone else does this, but whenever there's sun in the car, I will throw on a hat with a bill, a classic baseball hat, and I will orient the bill so that it blocks wherever the sun is. Because like a lot of people fuck with these things, right? And those do something. That's helpful. But like sometimes that's not enough. Try get a couple baseball hats in here and try this out. I've never seen anybody else doing it in the car. I feel like I invented this move. And the other thing about it is I'm wondering, is the inventor of the baseball hat originally, did they think, you know what, one of the benefits about this design is that you can turn it in any direction and block the sun from any direction, right? Like it's behind you on this side, you can block it from that side. It's over here. The bill can rotate 360 degrees and block the sun from any direction. And I know that, you know, of course, wearing your hat backwards, wearing your hat to the side, wearing your hat in all different directions has been fashionable in the past, or in even currently. But what I wonder is that from the beginning, was the baseball hat thought of this way, as this thing that you moved to block the sun whatever direction it's in. Anyway, I use baseball hats this way, and I use them in the car especially, and walking around, I will turn my hat to block the sun wherever it is. And I don't know. All I want to do is pass around this knowledge. It's a great way to block the sun. And again, I am trying to stop the sun from reaching my skin because I put bazooka cream on it, aka tretinion. All right, we are at the gym. And then my routine here, we arrive at the gym. You know, I'll be here for a few hours. So what we do is we grab our solar panel. You stick it right here. Boom. And the sun is it's starting here. It'll kind of go to that side. So, you know, you want to kind of put it like that maybe. Because you might not know this, but solar works best whenever it's lined up perfectly with the sun. Oh, wait. There's a car coming. Hold on. Oh, that was a close call, guys. Do. And slap. And then you hook her up. There we go, guys. And let's check to see. Let's see what kind of levels we're getting on that puppy. 31 watts input right now. That's not too good, but it's because the sun is just peaking up and it's just starting. So once the sun really goes, we should be getting anywhere from 100 to 140 watts. And that's pretty good. We're gonna skip forward in time just a little bit. I'm basically done with my workout, and I just wanted to, since I was talking about my skincare routine in general and light, my skin versus the sun, I figured I'd show the other thing that I do for my skin that I you know how I said I don't like most skincare is snake oil. This is one of those things that I feel like could be snake oil, but red light therapy. So I'm here at Planet Fitness. After my workout, I usually hit the red light booth. And at Planet Fitness, it's so funny. It's called the Beauty Angel. And it has this little icon here. And I just feel like it's gotta be fake. But as we've talked about earlier, I am vain. I am desperate to look hot and young. And so after every workout, usually I come in here. For 12 minutes. Oh my God, I haven't heard this song before. Usually, I know all of the songs that play in the booth now. This is actually a new one.
Minimum body ventilation.
So then, oh my God, turning on the volume. So I come in the red light booth for 12 minutes. That's the maximum time they let you have in here. And I mean, you can look up the benefits of red light therapy. I don't know if it's real or not. Oh my God, turn on the volume. Okay. It stimulates the growth of collagen. I don't know. I've looked up a lot about it, and I'm still like, it can't be real. There's no way. But I don't know. That's what they say. I think at some point I'd like to do like a deep dive on red light. But yeah, I stand in here, I get warm. It also claims that they're not just, the red light apparently, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm going to come back to this at a later video, and we're going to do a deep dive on red light, because I just don't know. But anyway, this is the other part of my skincare routine that, is it working? Again, I have no idea, but I do enjoy standing in this booth like I am like a fucking, in a Bacta tank or in like a hyperbaric chamber. So back to me earlier. All right, well, I think that's a good first solo pod. I don't know if it's actually a podcast. I feel like this is more of a vlog. This is more of a Sam Sulek type vlog, right? Like, this is just kind of boring. This is what I'm doing, and then I'm talking to camera. But hey, I tried it. That was my morning. It's an average morning for me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on the sun, my vulnerability that I showed when I talked about how I don't want to look old and that I'm using an extreme skincare product, even though maybe I shouldn't. And I hope you enjoyed my drive to work, or the drive to the gym, and my thoughts I shared with you. Thanks for spending time with me. If you enjoyed this content, like and subscribe, comment. I'm sorry the last podcast I did was 100% clickbait. My bad. I am Ryan. Thank you for watching.